Welcome to Xero Hero, a short video blog from HBA and Compass aimed to make your Xero journey easier. Please note that all the slides today have been created from existing Xero training videos. Xero has rapidly changed in the past few years, so sometimes the pictures are using old screenshots or overseas versions. Where possible, each session is followed up by a live demonstration. If you have any queries regarding any content delivered today, feel free to contact me via email, victoria@hbaandcompass.com.au or phone 0754 447094. Welcome to Customising Invoices. So let's have a look at our invoice settings. Xero has a standard invoice setting, but you might have a paper invoice that you want to create and have your invoices look exactly the same, or you prefer your invoices to be in a separate layout. So you can create your own invoice settings. So we go into settings on the top bar and then general settings, and then down the bottom under features we click on invoice settings. And you can see here that there's a standard invoice theme. You can add a payment service, which is the eWay or the PayPal or the IntegraPay that I mentioned before, or you can create a new branding theme, and you can have as many branding themes as you like. So you might find that you work for one particular customer who likes his invoices to come one specific way, so you can create a branding theme for him. If you have different businesses running through the same entity, you can have different brandings with different logos. You can have as much as you like on there, and it's quite an easy process to go through. So let's have a look at editing the main standard branding theme first. So on the right hand side there's an options button, and you click on that and click on edit. You can see that down the left hand side is the setup of the margins, the font size, what you want to call your invoices, your credit notes. You can change your measurement to centimetres or inches. You can look at the columns that you have there, whether you show your logo, whether you show your discount or not, where you want your logo, whether you want it left or right aligned, whether you want your taxes as inclusive or exclusive, and you can make sure that you have your contact details so you want them to show up. The payment services that we spoke about before, it's just a matter of clicking down here and going through the process. It's all very easy to set up and all very user friendly. If you want to boost the profile of your business and always have your social media links on your invoices, you can do that. And that's in your organisation settings. And we just put the details down the bottom there, and they will always show up on the bottom of your invoices with the usual type of links that are down there. We spoke earlier about just the general settings, so we go into settings, general settings, then invoice settings. And from there, the first step would really be to upload your logo, and then we can look at anything else that you want to invoice. So we spoke earlier about the different things that you can change, the payment terms and advices. If for any reason you want to kill what you've already done, you can go back and reset it with your options. And we spoke earlier about your invoices with your default settings. So for sales and bills and quotes, the default settings there are how you want things to happen. So you can have due the 20th of the following month, due 7 days after invoice. And we also look at our invoice prefixes and our next number. So if you're moving from another accounting system, you can have the prefix and the number starting exactly the next number as it would have been if you continued with that system. So that's what they call automatic sequencing. You can have prefixes for your invoices, your credit notes and your purchase numbers, and again the next numbers. This little one here, the show outstanding bills, is a good little button as well. And what that does is when someone gets an online invoice, there's a link there that shows them all their other outstanding bills. So if you're sending a lot of invoices to one particular person, they can actually click through to go to the other outstanding ones and hopefully pay them for you. But you do need to tick that tick box that's there. Payment services we spoke about earlier. The main ones that are used in Australia are eWay, PayPal, Stripe and IntegraPay. So what that does is put the nice big green Pay Now button on your invoice so that people can go through to a payment gateway. Keeping in mind, as I mentioned before, there are additional merchant fees from there, and different people have different pricings and different scenarios, so you need to investigate the different ones there as to what's going to work for you. Bank details on your invoices is a bit of a must. You want to make sure that if you don't have that payment gateway, that people are able to pay you. So you've got to have the bank details there, and you can go in and put as much information in there as you like. The other thing that you can do is you can have a payment advice slip down the bottom of your invoice, or you can remove that. So here in Australia, we don't get too many cheques paying invoices these days. I haven't seen a remittance slip come through our office for years that I can think of. So you can actually take that off the bottom if you want to have more room for the rest of your invoice and not waste the ink printing something there that you're not going to use. So to display the bank details on your invoices, we go to Settings, Invoice Settings and Edit, and then in the Terms and Payment Notices where you type that information there, and it will then show on every single invoice. Now, we spoke earlier about different branding themes, and if you have different businesses with different bank account details, and you have different branding on your invoices, so you might have a Bill's Bikes invoice and a Bill's Motorbikes invoice. You can have different bank accounts there depending on the different branding theme. And then you can see here the bit that's red is the Show the Pay Cutaway, so we can untick that so there's nothing on the bottom of your invoice. Let's have a look at our invoice settings. So we would go to Settings, General Settings and our Invoice Settings. And that brings us up to this page here. Now, this particular setup has got 3 invoices. We can see we've got our standard one with our nice logo. We can see we've got Special Products, which has got our orange on it, and our very orange invoice, which doesn't have the details on it. Now, the reason that they are different and they look different is they're different type of branding themes. And we're going to go into that in more detail further on in our webinar series. Today we're just going to cover the basics. So if we have a look at our options and we edit our branding theme, we call it standard. We have our page size, our margins, what we're going to call things. So perhaps people mightn't want to call their quotes a quote. They might want to call it an estimate. We want to show our ABN number. We want the columns. We want the unit price and the quality. We don't want the payment advice. We don't want the tax column. We do want the logo. Payment services. We've set up a payment services here. And then we put the payment details. So we're going to take out paying about checks. We don't want to be paid by cheque. Online payment preferred, use their accounts or use the Pay Now to link via PayPal. For our terms, for our quotes, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy that. Save me having to type it. So same as all Windows type programs, you can copy and paste as well. So the quote's valid, 20% deposits on acceptance, online payment is preferred. We want to have our logo at the right hand side, and we want to show our taxes exclusive. And then this is what we want as our details. We might take off the AU and we can save that there. So that then edits our branding theme. We're going to get the payment details on every invoice. We're going to get the quote details on every quote. So nice and easy, nice and simple. If you do go to add a new branding theme, you can see there is a standard or a custom branding theme. So these top two here are standard branding themes, and you can't really change the layout of your invoice too much. When you use the custom branding theme, what it does is allows you to download the invoices into Word. You can customize them to your heart's content, and then you can re-upload them so that your invoices look exactly the way you want them to look. So for those that have specific ways that they like it and they don't really like Xero's layout, you can play away to your heart's content there. And you can download, just make sure that you save it, and then you remember where you save it, and then you upload that file. You don't have to do the credit note, the invoice, the purchase order, or the quote if you don't want to. You can just do the invoice for some reason. So what I'll do is I'll just show you what it means. So if we go to accounts and sales, and we'll go to an invoice, and what I'm going to do is just click on one, and I'm going to print the PDF to show you what it looks like. And you can see that it comes up here with demo company, the details of what it is, and our pay online. I'll click on this and see if it actually works. I don't know whether it will because it's a demo company. Okay, so it comes in, you can go through and put your details in there. Now, because I've got a PayPal account, it's automatically picked up me with the details that are there, and you can pay it. So if I go back and I change the invoice, and because it hasn't been paid, I can change the invoice that's here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the branding just to show you the difference. And I'm going to make it that very orange invoice, which was the custom invoice. And I'm going to print the PDF. And you can see that it looks totally different. They've customised it to their heart's content. They've made this bigger. They've got a zillion oranges. They've made it very orange. So you can customise this however you like. You can get different colours, different logos, whatever it is that you want. If you can do it in Word, you can upload it to Xero, basically. My name's Victoria Berry. I'm one of the directors of HBA and Compass. So if you need to contact me, my email address is victoria@hbaencompass.com.au, or of course our phone number is 0754 44 7094. Thanks for listening.